All right, everyone, welcome. I'm Michael Crossfox. I'm the Academic Support Assistant for the Division of Library and Information Science. I want to welcome you to the online MS LIS at St. John's College of Liberal Arts and Sciences at St. John's University. I will be your touchstone if you have any problems with tech issues or any programmatic queries. For the time being, over the next few weeks, I'm your point of access to all things related to the Division of Library and Information Science. The point of this meeting tonight is to walk you through LIS 270, which is your your orientation to online learning. The point of the course is to give you an opportunity to familiarize yourselves with the online learning landscape, as it were, the ecosystem at St. John's. Familiarize yourself with your email clients, with sign-on, and other products and licenses that the university provides to support your pursuit of the MS-LIS. So that's what you're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to walk you through the course now. Our point is to get you familiarized with these systems before the first day of class. So that's why we're opening this course up 2 weeks before the start of this first summer session. And of course, 8 weeks before the start of the second summer session. But you're registered for classes in one or both of those sessions, so this information is pressing for you. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and start my presentation. All right, so LIS 270, the first stop on our journey tonight is signon.stjohns.edu. This is your portal. This is where you're going to be living for the duration of your program of study. So this is where you're going to log in every day. If you don't have your credentials to log in, you can email dlis@stjohns.edu and we'll get you some documentation to help you identify where your credentials are. You're all registered, so you do have a university email, you do have the logins, but if you encounter any difficulties, that's the point of this course. Over the next couple of weeks before the first day of class, if you encounter difficulties at any level, reach out to us and we can intervene. All right, so this is the dashboard for signon.stjohns.edu. Each of these tiles represents a different application that you have access to. Your screen is going to be different. Your dashboard is different from mine because I'm staff.
Excuse me, Michael. Excuse me, I'm
yeah.
not seeing the dashboard.
Oh, you're not? I wonder what happened.
It says Michael Crossfox is starting to share content. That's what it says.
But it's not sharing. All right, so hold on. Let's start over. These are the kinds of technical things that I specialize in. All right, do you see it now? That's my screen.
Yep.
Do you see the dashboard now? Excellent.
Yep, got it.
Okay, so as I was saying, each of these tiles represents a different application. You can drag and drop and reorganize the tiles in order of your preference. You can even create sections. So for instance, my first section up here is work. These are the applications that I use on a daily basis. This top row being obviously my top priority applications. And then I have this other section. I labeled it other because these are applications that the university has licenses for, but I don't necessarily use. So I have no idea what brand folder is. I just know that it's on my dashboard. So don't worry, this is all. Sign-on is a product provided by Okta. So sometimes we'll call it sign-on. Sometimes it'll be referred to as single sign-on or SSO, or sometimes it'll be referred to as Okta. That's this space that we're in. This is your portal. All right, so our courses live in Canvas. This is Canvas LMS. And we're going to land on the dashboard for Canvas. And I'm going to walk you through this, how the information is organized and what information is presented. So you see on the left, this is the global navigation menu for Canvas itself. Then on this main area here, these tiles each represent a different course that I'm registered for that has been published. So that means it's available. My instructors have made it available. Yours is Summer 2024 Orientation to Online Learning. That's what we're talking about tonight. And then down below that are unpublished courses. These are courses that I might have taken in the past that are no longer available, but benefits still persist in Canvas. And if I need something from them, I can ask my instructor to get me access to it. On the right-hand column, this to-do list coming up, these are populated by due dates in your courses. Coming up as is the same information. These are, if your instructor puts an assignment with a due date in your course, it'll appear in to-do. If there's a meeting or a synchronous event that's happening in the course and that's also in the calendar, it'll show up under coming up. Recent feedback is grades or commentary on papers or assignments that you've received from your instructor, and that lives here. So that's the dashboard. This is pretty much at a glance everything that's happening in Canvas at the moment. So let's navigate to the course, Summer 2024 Orientation to Online Learning. I'm going to flip into student view so we can look at what you should be seeing on your screen as opposed to what I see on my screen as an instructor. So this next to left menu is the course level navigation menu. This is customizable at the preference of your instructor. So while the labels will not change, the order and the content will change. So feel free to navigate, scroll down this, click down this left navigation menu for Canvas itself. And then once you get into the course, you want to orient yourself to the courses here one at a time. You'll do this probably on the first day of class, or if your instructor makes the course public a week or so before the first day of class. You just want to take a few moments to orient yourself to this dashboard and to the actual navigation of the course itself. So you see here on the right that to do is appears here, but this is for course level assignments. So back on your dashboard, your to-do list is for all of your courses. In the course dashboard, your to-do list is for this specific course. So these are some assignments that are coming up that should be populated. Each one of them has its own due date. Well, they're all the same due date of May 30th. Unfortunately, this semester IT changed something. The assignments, I'll show you in a few moments, the assignments are not available until next Monday. So I'm going to walk you through the navigation of the course and then invite you, I'll announce once the assignments are live next Monday to come in and complete the assignments. So this course is organized. I've got a start here heading, and we'll go to the welcome page. And Canvas courses are organized kind of in the left to right. You can scroll through the course. I'll show you what that looks like. So here's a brief video. It's a publicity video created by Marketing and Communications at St. John's University to promote our online program. This is, I think, from 2019. And so it's a cute little introduction if you haven't already seen it. This young lady is Catherine Sheehan. She was a dual degree student and graduate assistant in our department. This page is about what we're doing right now, the synchronous walkthrough. The recording will be posted to this page either tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning. So you can review it, and anyone who's not part of our synchronous meeting will have access to the recording. This is a brief overview that includes information about each of the assignments. There's 5, I think 6 assignments. It doesn't take long to complete the assignments. Scrolling through this course and reading all of the content and reviewing it at your own pace should take you no longer than 5 hours. So you have plenty of time to get through this course before the first day of summer session 1, and even longer before the first day of summer session 2. I want to remind you, however, that the assignments are due May 30th. This page has some tech guides, some information provided by the university's Department of Instructional Technology for you to peruse at your leisure. It's all pretty straightforward. This is an explanation of completing the assignments. For all of the assignments, you're going to upload a screenshot of the service of the software in question. So I'll give you an example of what the assignments are. Oh, also, I'll come back to this in a moment. Hold on a sec. Let me just navigate to one of the assignments pages. Explore Office 365. So this assignment, you're just going to log into Office 365 from that tile here, Office 365, this one, Office 365 portal. You're going to log in and just take a screenshot of your dashboard in Office 365 and then upload it. Upload that screenshot uh, to complete the assignment. And that's the gist of all of the assignments in this course. We're going to point you at uh, various areas, parts of the internet. So you're going to take a screenshot of your email box to prove that you are able to successfully access your university email. I want you to update and personalize your Canvas profile. That means include a headshot or an avatar photo and a description, maybe include where you are in the world. As of this year, I think we've got students in something like 17 states across the country. In previous years, we've had students from Eurasia, North Africa, and Pacific Islands. So we're pretty spread out. So you want to include information like that in your Canvas profile so that you can foster connection with your classmates. Then you're going to zip over to the university library's website where you have access to up to 3 free subscriptions to the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and the Financial Times. So we're going to ask you to activate one of those and upload a screenshot of the confirmation page. Again, you're going to log into Office 365 and just take a screenshot of your dashboard. I'm not asking you to build anything yet, or your instructors will do that. I just want to check that you have access to these tools before the start of the semester. Then I want you to meander over to the DLIS LibGuide, which is your online student manual. I'll go over that again at orientation in a few weeks. And just take a snapshot of the ePortfolio page. And then the final assignment is explore the DLIS specializations. And if one catches your interest, upload a copy of the specialization specifications. And then in a couple of weeks, you'll get an invitation to complete the DLIS new student survey, which is just going to ask you how you learned about our program, et cetera, just entry, point of entry questions. Nothing too substantial. The course also has discussion boards. One of them is a water cooler. That's where you can ask questions. I'll pop in every once in a while and answer the questions, or you're encouraged to see if you can provide each other with answers. This is a collaborative program. There will be a lot of group assignments as you go through, and also discussion post-based assignments. And then there's a discussion thread for the icebreaker. This is a brief introduction. You want to put together an introduction of yourself, your background, your interests, where you are in the world. If you're working in a library, what brought you to LIS. Put together something like 200 words. You're going to use this a lot. You're going to use this every time in almost all of your classes. Your instructor is going to want to learn more about you. So you might want to start thinking about that now. What kind of information do you want to provide to your classmates and instructors as a means of introducing yourself to everybody in the course? Going down this course navigation menu, we get to grades, and this is where you'll find you can view the grades on the assignments, etc. And then people, this is the course roster. So I'm not going to actually let that load because that has some personally identifiable information. Pages, that's if you want to break out of that next navigation, moving horizontally, you can just come to pages and select which page you want to get to. And then finally, I'm going to go back to home. If over the next couple of weeks you encounter any issues, you can email me, or in this course, you can click View Course Calendar. And then there are appointments. You can click this button, Find Appointment, select the course that we want to look at. And you'll see here in the last week of May, I've set up appointments where you can meet with me via WebEx, and we'll try to troubleshoot anything that might be going on with your access to services. So if you encounter a problem registering for your free subscription to the Financial Times, email me or set up an appointment through here, and we'll review it for you and troubleshoot together to get that issue resolved. So like I said, the assignments will be open on Monday, May 13th. I'll make an announcement in this course, which will land in your inbox, your university inbox, just to let you know that everything is available and you can start handing in the assignments. Again, each assignment should take you no more than 5 minutes. You're just logging into a system, taking a snapshot, coming back to the course, uploading that snapshot. So make sure you know how to manage a screenshot. There's information in the course about how to do that. If you've never done a screenshot on your device, you can just follow instructions. You can just generally go to YouTube and look up how to do it. 30-second videos are very helpful. And that's that for this. So yeah, the assignments will be open next Monday. Just go in, explore, start looking at the content, familiarize yourself. There are some other videos in here, not about our program, but about different technologies that we use, including Canvas. All the way down at the bottom of the course, our Student Success Resource module has information about online learning at St. John's University. That's this Red Storm Rising. But also there is a student-facing tutorial from Canvas itself. If you've never used Canvas before, it's a pretty smooth and not steep. I don't know what the opposite of steep is. Pretty flat curve, learning curve. So you can enter this the passport to Canvas, and that'll get you, up and running with your Canvas skills for whatever that is. And then finally, at the bottom, again, completing assignments. These are videos that you can watch that show you step by step how to complete each of the assignments in this course. And you'll see the videos are probably less than 2 minutes long, so that'll give you a sense of, again, how long it should take you to complete each of the assignments in this course. I'm just sorry that I didn't know that IT had made that restriction. Our assignments are typically live when we do this, and a lot of people complete the course within an hour of this event ending. Unfortunately, we're going to have to come back. You're all going to have to come back and start working on the assignments starting next Monday. But that
Michael,
can't be helped.
what did IT do?
The course is set up so that no assignments can open before the first day of class, and they set the first day of class as May 13th.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the
Pre-session.
pre-session.
Okay, I
Yeah, so
got it.
that's that. I'll
Oh,
exit
wait.
now. That was Canvas. That was LIS
You,
270. I always like to end my presentations with a
well, yeah,
slide called housekeeping.
excuse me, Michael. Could you go
Yeah.
back into Canvas and show the students the inbox?
Oh
Because
yeah.
the
Okay.
inbox is not in a particular course.
Right. So on this leftmost navigation menu, the first button here is account, and this is, well, that's incorrect. Let me leave student view because we're going to go back out to big canvas. So the first button is account, and this is where you manage your personal settings, your profile. You see I uploaded an image and other modules here. Explore that, and definitely you want to customize it. Then the next button is that dashboard where we landed first. That has all of your courses, past and present. And then the next button is courses. So this is just a scrollable menu of all of those courses, again, published and unpublished. Whereas on the dashboard, it's a visual tile-based representation. That calendar, like I said earlier, any dates and any courses will appear on this calendar. You can see here that every course has its own calendar, and you can select which ones you want to view at once. The inbox, as Dr. Vorbach mentioned, this is your Canvas inbox. So if your instructor sends you a message, or if you send your instructor a message within Canvas, it's going to be masked to your university email address, but that exists out in Outlook. So that's going to be a separate place where you can check that. So inbox is just Canvas to Canvas or intra-Canvas messaging between you, your classmates, and your instructors. You'll also get a notification in this inbox, and there'll be a little notification icon of how many messages are unread on the tile itself. If I make an announcement, so on Monday when I make the announcement in Canvas in LIS 270 that the assignments are open, you'll get a little blue 1 here indicating that you have an unread message, and that's the assignment from the course. So the inbox is really a good place to get interactive information from your instructors and your classmates.
Why don't you just send me an email just so that students can see the icons that you use.
Right, so here's up here, this is the compose new message. It's a pencil over a square. It looks like maybe a Post-it, but it's probably a piece of paper. I want to send it to, I'm going to send it to my sandbox. Okay, you're not in the course, you're not in
I'm
the
not in it.
sandbox. So I'll
You
send it
could
to all
just,
teachers then. That's just me in there. The subject is testing inbox. Clever message. Oh, I can't send it because that course concluded. But anyway, this is the interface for composing messages. Down here,
so
this paper clip is, of course, if you want to add an attachment. So if you want to share a draft of an assignment with your instructor, you can do it through this. And there's also record an audio or video comment. So that would allow you to another level of access to this that's not text-based. In case you're doing this on an app or other mobile device, you don't have a full keyboard, but you want to respond, you can do so with a video or audio recording. So that's the inbox. And again, your messages would appear here. There's no conversations to show as this panda is entertaining himself with a little paper airplane. But it's easy, it's navigable. And this is, again, within Canvas, it's masked to your Outlook. You'll get a notification in your Outlook, your university email box, if any messages come through here. So it's nice redundancy, but everything will be here. All of your Canvas initiated communications are stored here.
and one
Uh,
thing also I just want to mention is that you're selecting, you don't have to know email addresses. So when you're within Canvas and you select course, you can select you can select the recipients by name. You can select the recipients by project group if you have groups in the class. So that's a nice feature in using this inbox rather than if you're using Outlook, then you got to know each of your colleagues' email address, St. John's email address. So it's kind of nice that within Canvas, you just you can send email just by selecting names.
oh, okay, that's a great benefit. I don't really use it, so I didn't know that. But if you use it, it makes sense that you would have groups organized. That way. And then the next tile on here on the global navigation menu, this is a history. These are all of the pages that I viewed over the past few days. So if you can't remember precisely what course you saw what in, this is organized by page. You can see that there's different courses on here. Well, they're all orientation to online learning because that's all I've been working on for the past week. But this will give you a global history of your navigation through Canvas, not just the course level, but all of Canvas, so you can see what courses are you've visited in the past. I'm sorry. This Commons area, this is content that is shared across campus. So some people will upload assignments that they've courses that they've developed. This is all kind of corporate stuff that different companies have used Canvas for their professional development and training. And so they share that to the Commons, and you can kind of take a look at these. These are not course related. This has almost nothing to do with your MSLAS. You'll be in your course. You'll see the sources here. These are just different communities that license Canvas and share their content. I don't know what Flat World is. That's Follow Discover. That's text, but we get our textbooks elsewhere. And then Studio. This is the proprietary inline content creation system. So this is video capturing, screen capturing, and other tools that you can use to create videos and other multimedia content within Canvas. So you can explore this and see that you may have an assignment that wants you to record your screen, wants you to record your desktop while you're working on something. You can use this tool. It's kind of like what was the I'm drawing a blank on the other, like Screen Capture Pro. Like there's other software that you can use, and even free stuff on the internet. But this is built into Canvas, and it keeps all of your files in one place. So it's a good organizational tool. So that's Canvas, that's the left nav menu. You saw your course menu, and that's it. I'm going to back out of this and get back to my presentation here. All right, so housekeeping, these are some important dates coming up. Again, like I said, next Monday, 13th of May, LIS 270 assignments open. Then on the 28th of May is the DLIS student orientation. This is a bigger, more comprehensive presentation from the director, from some faculty, programmatic information, and co-curricular information. So that's a great session. It should last about an hour. May 30th. This is the last day to change your schedule if you're in summer session 1. That's also the date that the assignments for orientation to online learning are due. The university will be closed on the 19th of June in celebration of Juneteenth. July 2nd will be the last day of classes for summer session 1. Summer session 2 starts on the 8th of July. The 10th of July is then the last day to make changes to your schedule if you're in summer session 2. And the last day of classes for summer session 2 will be August 8th. If you have any questions at all, you can email the department at dlis@stjohns.edu, or you can email me directly at cruzm@stjohns.edu. This information will be posted to the course, and it'll be posted to our LibGuide, and you'll get it. You'll get the steps on accessing that tomorrow. You're going to start receiving the DLIS Student Digest tomorrow. That's a weekly email that goes out to all students. It has information about the program, about courses, about internships, about scholarships, about jobs. So you'll start getting that tomorrow, and it'll have links to the video and to other online assets. That's a weekly email that goes out to all students every Wednesday, except for the 2 weeks between Christmas and New Year, where I give my little piggies a break. So that's it for me. Do anybody have any questions? You can feel free to unmute yourself, and hopefully I'll have an answer. All right, well, I know that you're all registered for 270, so you can go to signon.stjohns.edu, click Canvas LMS, and start exploring. Look at the other tiles that are on Sign On, because like I said, that's your portal. That's where you're going to be living for your program of study. So explore those things. If you encounter any barriers, if something says you're not authorized, you can ask me about it, and I'll see if that's the case. But otherwise, you want to start thinking about managing your email using Office 365. That's where you have you can actually download a local instance of Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint. You can use the online version, or you can download. Your license allows you to download, I think, onto 3 devices. So you can get your Outlook on your mobile device. You can have Word on your laptop computer, and synchronize those things so that you have just one-touch access to your student profile and your personal machine. I also would recommend that you try to think of one browser that you're going to use just for school, because you're going to be bookmarking a lot. You're going to want to have that history accessible to you, and don't cross streams. Like, don't have your Netflix profile in the same browser as your Canvas profile. You want to keep those 2 worlds as separate as possible so that you can track your data and make sure that you have all of your documents, all of your logins. If you're like me and you save passwords for this stuff that you use every day, you want to have that under one browser so that you know, I'm going to Microsoft Edge because I'm going to St. John's, or I'm going to Chrome because I'm going to Netflix. Like, keep those profiles separated as much as you can. And then another time-saving thing, this is me just off the cuff now because I'm done with my spiel, but this is what I tell all of my grad assistants. The weekend is a lie we tell children. So you're in an asynchronous online graduate program. You have to make time during the week to do your readings, to do your writing. Don't say, I'm going to get everything done on a Sunday. Because Sundays are when life happens to us. Weekends is when life happens to us. Weekends is when someone drops by, the cat drops dead. Like that happens on weekends. And so you have to be, if you're a morning person, try to get your readings done in the morning. If you can, we use a lot of digital text. So you can, if you download it to your Kindle can read your text to you while you're making your commute. You can watch the videos while you're stirring the risotto on the pot. Just be flexible. And if you feel that you have a moment free, turn to school and apply that to your studies, because a lot of people get overwhelmed, especially if you've never done online courses before. This is an asynchronous online program. So you're removed from your classmates and your instructors by time and space. Like I said, we've got students in 17 different states this year. At one point, a couple of years ago, with those students in Eurasia and the Pacific, our program spanned 16 time zones. We had as much reach as the Pacific Ocean. So, what does 6 o'clock on a Tuesday evening look like to someone who's in the Caucasus Mountains? Right? We even had this in Eastern Europe that their troubleshooting happened at the Rome campus, which was as close as we could get to them for synchronous troubleshooting with tech issues. Um, so it's something to be mindful of. You're not on your own. You're going to get a sense of isolation, and that can't be helped. But as you move through the program and you get to meet your classmates and you work together on projects, there is room for emotional connection. And one of my favorite memories of being on the Queens campus a few years ago was we had students come for commencement and they were meeting face to face for the first time. Someone that you had worked with in 5 or 6 classes, that you knew you knew about their family, you knew about their kids. Their cat would go walk across the camera whenever you were on WebEx with them. And they meet for the first time at commencement and they say, "Is it all right if I give you a hug?" Like that's what we're working toward. So just remember, be mindful that your emotional well-being is a value to us, because that we want to get you through the program. So if you have any needs, any issues, I've helped students. I just helped somebody. She was looking for an internship, but she lives in a remote part of Oregon, and I put her in touch with the Archdiocese of Portland, and said, "Would you mind if she digitizes some of your congregational, your parish documents?" And we made an internship for her just by reaching out and asking questions. I've had students in the Pacific Northwest a few years ago when there were wildfires. I had a student email me and say, "I'm being evacuated. I don't know how this is going to affect my courses." I reached out to the diocese and said, "Can the student relocate?" And sure enough, they had a room in the rectory with Wi-Fi, and my student was able to flee his burning town, and relocate there. Thankfully, it didn't hit his house, and he was able to go back home within 3 days. But for 3 days, I got him fed and housed. So that's, it's not normal that people will do that in a grad program, but we're an exceptional program. And we go the extra mile to make sure that you're safe and taken care of. So any questions at all, just reach out to me. You'll be assigned an advisor, a faculty advisor in the fall semester. So that's the person that you'll be asking questions about the program, but anything else, life happens, and just keep us abreast. I'm your point of contact. So you email me if anything goes awry, or if you have a sense of anything going awry. If I know where you live and I see that there's a hurricane coming, I'm going to email you ahead of time and say, "Hey, look out, there's a hurricane coming." So just take advantage. We're here. Our communication policy is to be responsive. So you'll hear from us, not within 48 hours. You'll hear from us as soon as we get the email message from you. That's our primary form of communication. And I like to say, I give solutions within 48 hours. So we'll work together to solve your problems. And I look forward to getting to know you all, and working with you over the next several months to help you get out there and start shaking up the infosphere. All right. Anything else, Dr. Vorbach?
No, I think Michael, you just said it all really well. You're a tough act to follow.
All right. Well, keep that in mind at
I just want to
orientation
say
in 2 weeks.
I just want to say welcome, folks, and hopefully you have an enjoyable experience with this orientation course we put together. And like Michael said, it'll be up and running next Monday, the 13th. And I'll see you again on, well, Michael also, but I'll be running the orientation on the 28th.
All right. See you all in 3 weeks. Thanks. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.